Are you someone who's lost in life and does not have any direction? Are you someone who finds it difficult to stay motivated in doing challenging tasks and you always seek motivation to do challenging tasks? If yes, then I hope this video gives you the solutions and the answers to those questions. Hi, I'm Sumedhan Ramesh, and in this video, I'm going to answer the question, how is it that you can be yourself? And before I deep dive into this question and give you guys like certain steps that you can follow, I want you to understand the generic meaning behind this statement, just be yourself. In most situations, in most scenarios, for most people, what does that statement mean? So, usually, when someone tells you to just be yourself, and when they're trying to give you comments like why are you being different and why are you trying to change, what is wrong with you, if it seems more negative and if they're trying to put you down, then that is what the intention behind that is. Most people, when they tell you to just be yourself, the reason as to why they say it is because there's a slight negative intention behind it. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're trying to put you down or stab you in the back and they don't want you to improve at all. It's just a slight negative intention, and usually it's a subconscious intention as to why they tell you to just be yourself. And the reason as to why that is because all human beings on this planet have a tendency to recognize patterns. So all of us have this ability to recognize patterns. That is what makes us have an easier life to live. And when they see you as someone who's trying to change his beliefs or change your behaviors and mannerisms, that is a change in the pattern that they already have registered in their mind. And you are essentially trying to break that pattern that they have in their mind. And that is the reason as to why they keep asking you these questions like, why are you changing and what is wrong with you and stuff like that. And yes, it does have a certain negative intention to it. And on top of that, when you are changing, you're also insulting their ego. You're also insulting their identity of doing certain bad habits that they do currently. And you might also be that person who's doing similar bad habits because you're in that same social circle, that same friends group. And so when you're trying to change, they look at you trying to change, and now they have to confront, they have to face their problems, their bad habits. And it is more difficult for them to face those things. It is more difficult for them to look at their flaws and try to put in time and effort and energy into changing their bad habits and beliefs, because it is difficult. They just want to feel comfortable and do things that they used to do before because it's easier to do it. And so that is the reason as to why you usually get those comments from people. So given this explanation, you might be someone who has listened to this and have decided to make changes to your current situation. So say you are someone who has a certain set of bad habits. Now you've decided that you want to get over these bad habits, you want to change, you want to improve as a person, and you listen to people around you say, don't try to change, bro, just be yourself, but you still go against that. And say you do start taking actions and say you have made a certain level of progress. Now, after having made a certain level of progress, there comes a point where you feel stuck. There comes a point where you find it difficult to push yourself and face challenges. There comes a point when you find it mentally exhausting to motivate yourself to do certain challenging tasks. And that is the effect of burning out. And usually people feel burned out and then they lose motivation and they ask themselves, why is it that they feel burned out, and they come and ask questions, or they want solutions to this problem, this obstacle that they face. And usually the reason as to why people feel burned out is not because they work hard, but because they're working on the wrong things. Let me say that one more time. The reason as to why you are feeling burned out is not because you're working hard, but it is because you're working on the wrong things. And this is where it matters for you to be yourself. And this is the question that I'm going to answer in this video. You need to focus on the right things such that you can improve yourself to the best extent possible. You can develop skills in the areas where you can prosper, make money, get status, whatever the goal it is for you in your own life. For you to be able to excel to the best extent possible, you have to focus on those things that are right to you. So all of us have our own unique inclinations and all of us have our own unique strengths and weaknesses. And you need to look at those unique strengths and weaknesses, and based on that assess what is it that you can be best at in your own life. So that is a core principle behind being yourself. The core principle is natural inclinations, or you could call it specific knowledge. If you guys are familiar with someone called Naval Ravikant, you would have heard of this term called specific knowledge, and he talks about this with quite a bit of importance. If you look at your specific knowledge or your natural inclinations, your talent, your gifts, what you're naturally inclined to, instead of trying to do something that other people are doing, instead of trying to do what the masses are doing or what is trendy, if you know what your natural inclinations are and if you're taking actions according to that, that is the right thing to focus on. Because even if you do work extremely hard on those aspects, you won't find it extremely hard. When you focus or work on things that are your natural inclinations, they actually don't seem tiring, they actually don't seem as work, they actually seem as fun. And this is the words of Naval Ravikant himself. So that is a core principle that I want you guys to understand. And before I give you guys a system or steps that you can follow, I want you to also remember the converse behind this statement. The converse behind just being yourself is your ability to change. Every person can change their identity. Every person can change their situation. They can put in the effort to become successful. So you start off from a place where you don't have success and you put in the effort and you achieve success. So we all put in the effort and achieve that success, that in turn changes our identity, our beliefs, our personality, our character, and this change is possible. So I want you guys to remember that this change is not inauthentic, and I don't want you guys to have this cognitive bias in your mind and get obsessed or start worrying about this cognitive bias. What it means to be yourself is, like I said, choosing your natural inclinations and developing your skills in what you're naturally good at, and that is what it means to be yourself. That is your unique signature and that is your unique presence on this planet. So the 4-step system that I would suggest you guys to follow is as follows. The first step is to aspire to be anti-fragile. And if you guys want to understand what this means, you have to understand what it means to be anti-fragile. And in simple definitions, anti-fragile is something that grows from volatility. So you essentially apply pain to your situation, and because you apply pain, you grow from that pain. That is what it means to be anti-fragile. You grow from pain. If there is no pain, then there is no growth. And it's not exactly no pain, no gain, this hustle motivation kind of motto. It is more so about facing challenges, facing failures, being okay with failures, and embracing or being okay with the mistakes that you make in your life. And it is only through making those mistakes and failing in tiny amounts that you learn. So that is what it means to be anti-fragile. If you guys want to understand more about the concept or the idea of being anti-fragile, I suggest you guys read that book. There is a book named Anti-Fragile, written by the author Nassim Nicholas Taleb, and you guys can get a more detailed understanding of what it means to be anti-fragile. And why is it important for you to aspire to be anti-fragile is because that is the way you can improve yourself to the best extent possible. That is a way in which you can embrace your mistakes and push yourself through challenges that come in the way of you trying to improve yourself. You will have challenges, you will have problems, and you need to solve those problems. And if you understand what it means to be anti-fragile, you will be able to solve those problems to the best extent possible. Step number 2 is to find those activities or ideas that never make you tired. So, like I said, anything that is based on your natural inclination or your specific knowledge is something that does not make you tired. It does not make you burned out. It does not make you continually seek for motivation over and over again. You always have this internal motivation inside of you, and you will always find it fun and engaging to focus on those things and to develop skills on those natural inclinations that you have. So that is, find those activities or ideas that never make you tired. If you use this principle of having fun while doing it, or not getting tired by doing those activities or by thinking about those ideas, those are your natural inclinations. So this step essentially is to find what your natural inclinations are. To find what your natural inclinations are, look at those activities that never make you tired, that never make you feel like you're burned out, or feel like you constantly want motivation from outside sources. Step number 3 is to gain knowledge through curiosity. I'm not saying the value behind systematic education like you get from school or university is not valuable. Of course, it is valuable, but what you want more in life, in when you're trying to improve, develop skills, or become better as a person, is to seek knowledge outside what your current formal educational system provides. And that could be watching videos, that could be reading books. If you are open-minded and if you are curious enough to pick these books, outside source books, and watch videos on social media or go through some information that is present on the internet and gain that information, you are going to be able to improve to the best extent possible, because not only do you have an open-minded perspective, and not only are you improving your curiosity to gain more knowledge, you are also gaining knowledge in those natural inclinations and in those specific knowledge that you have. And so there is that direction that you are choosing. So you have these natural inclinations, you want to gain knowledge, you are gaining knowledge based on those natural inclinations, and that is the direction that you choose in your life. So it is important that you go and read books that are outside what you normally get from an educational system, and you do that based on your curiosity. The more information you gain, the better it is, because now you will be able to assess what is right and wrong based on the actions that you take. So you say you are taking some action, say you are developing your skills in the practical world, you need to assess that based on information, and you get the information by curiously, by willingly, proactively seeking out that knowledge from sources like books and videos and other written format on the internet. The fourth and final step is to develop skills based on repeated trial and error implementation. So this is how you essentially develop skills and become better as a person. So you practically do something and you take these actions, and as you keep taking those actions, you realize that you make more and more mistakes. Initially you're frustrated, initially it's tiring, and it's just irritating for you to keep failing over and over again, to keep making mistakes over and over again. But that is the initial phase, and you are obviously just starting out, so you will be making more mistakes compared to someone who has more experience. But as you keep gaining experience, the level of mistakes that you make will start getting lower and lower. And that is the process that you essentially follow in order to become really good at this craft or this particular activity that you're trying to master or become good at, or the skill that you're trying to develop. So you keep doing it over and over again, you minimize the mistakes that you make, and that is the trial and error approach, trial and error implementation. As you keep doing it repeatedly on a long enough time period, the mistakes that you make, you will be able to minimize it to such an extent that people won't even notice that you're making these mistakes. And that is when you will appear as someone who has this natural touch to it. You'll be able to do it with so much ease, as if it doesn't take any effort. You will seem effortless, you will seem like someone who's a really good expert at this, and you appear as someone who's an expert at this because you have done it for a long enough period of time, and you've minimized your mistakes by developing skills along the way. So this is the first process that I would personally recommend you guys to follow. And I want you guys to look at each of these steps and take actions in each of these steps, because each of these matters in my own personal opinion. If you guys believe that certain steps might not matter that much, then fine, so be it. You guys can also change the ordering of the steps if you want to. So you can look at the second step and make it the first step. You can look at the first step and make it the third step. You can flip the third and fourth steps as well. You don't need to exactly follow this method, but so long as you realize that these 4 steps matter, each of these steps have its own value, you will be able to make the necessary progress, face challenges, and solve problems in the best manner possible. If you guys found this video helpful, please comment below. Please comment below your thoughts. If you feel like this video might benefit someone that you know, please feel free to share this video with them. If you disagreed upon something, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment those in the comment section below as well. And thank you for watching.